Chapter 2. Things Not to Play With. Ash and Tammy were still shocked by the events. They noticed a glowing ring in the index finger of Arjun's right hand, as if it was burning. The glow disappeared after a few seconds, and then they looked up at him. He was wearing a blue-white checkered shirt, dark-colored jeans, either blue or black. It was hard to tell in that light, and a pair of leather boots. Ash was still looking around. He was scared that he would see those figures floating around again. "What was that?" he asked. "I think you know," Arjun replied. Ash gulped. "It's not possible. It's not real. Can't be. It's not real. Tell me it's not real." "What did you do to them?" Tammy asked, ignoring Ash. "What was the thing that you—" "That was a salt bomb!" "A what?" "These ghosts. They can only interact with the physical world through a projection of them, along with telekinesis, pyrokinesis, things like that. These manifestations are nothing but electromagnetic waves. They interfere with electronics like lights and gadgets, and with signals. Any salt or a pure ferromagnetic metal can absorb these waves, so they kill these projections instantly." "I'm sorry," Tammy was confused. "Salt? As in salt? "No," Ash spoke up finally. He was still in shock, but maybe he understood what Arjun had said. Salt is a class of chemical compounds, as in acids, bases, and salts. Arjun looked at Ash. "Exactly, but it's only temporary. They can only be killed when their remains or host or whatever is tethering them to this world is destroyed. They'll come back, so let's get out of here. Get your packs, you won't be returning." Ash and Tammy packed their bags as quickly as they could. They noticed that the camera and the laptop had started working now. Arjun picked up the lamp and walked out of the cottage to lead the way. They were walking through the forest back towards the reception. "So, Arjun, is it?" Tammy asked. "What do you do? Are you some kind of a ghost hunter?" "Close. I'm a researcher. But I encounter monsters and other things too, so yeah, sometimes it gets ugly," Arjun replied. "Wait a minute," Ash interrupted. "Monsters? What kind of monsters?" Arjun turned his head towards Ash and said, "Every kind from freaky and scary to creepy and disgusting." "And what about that glowing ring of yours?" Tammy asked. "Yeah, it glows in the presence of spirits, and it also protects me from ghost possession. They can possess people." Ash looked at Tammy. "That ghost was gonna possess us." "Yeah, I think so. It was the archaeologist." Arjun stopped and turned back. "Wait, you know him?" "Yeah, that was the ghost of the archaeologist Dr. V.S. Muaria," said Tammy. "He was the first case. He died here 30 years ago." Arjun started walking again, and the boys followed him. "Tell me everything you know." He came here looking for something, I don't know, but, he spent the night and the next day he was found dead. Reports said that he had a heart attack, but his eyes were wide open, and his face had an expression of fear. That's when all this started. People started going missing and nobody could ever find them. That's it. That's all I know. I know about the missing persons. There are cases from even before the archaeologist, not just from the cottage, but all around the forest. That's why I came here." "How did you find us?" Ash asked. "Midnight Mysteries. You watch our videos?" "Yeah, I have to keep tabs on kids like you. I spend most of my time on the internet when I am not, you know." "I don't get it, though," Tammy said. "If the archaeologist was the first case, then how were people going missing before that?" "Maybe he wasn't the first case. Maybe he was just another victim. Maybe all those ghosts were actually trying to protect you from whatever is out there." Ash and Tammy didn't speak the rest of the way. When they got back to the reception, Arjun asked them to take the first bus and return home. "What are you gonna do?" Ash asked. "I have to take care of this," Arjun said, as he took his phone out and looked at it. "I have to go further ahead. There's no signal here. You two travel safely." He walked away towards the nearby town. "Thank you," Tammy shouted. Arjun waved his hand in the air without looking back. About half an hour later, he was in the town. He dialed a number as soon as he received a signal. "Hello," said a young female voice from the other side. "Well, you picked up on the first try." "Yeah, not working today. Didn't feel like being trapped in a basement all day." Well, you might have to go down there. I think I'm onto something. Need your help. You are on a case? You didn't inform me? Yeah, I had to rush. Alright, so what is it? See what you can find out about one archaeologist, V.S. Moria. Wait, I have heard that name before. Great, should be easy then. Also, find out what we know about missing person cases in Shimla. Shimla? It's a big city. Try the mountains near the town of Shannon. Shannon? Wait, a witch trial happened there about 200 years ago. I have to go down to find out more. I'll call you back. Arjun hung up the phone, and as he pulled his phone from his ear, he saw a notification on the home screen which read, Midnight Mysteries uploaded a new video. He clicked on it. Ash and Tammy were speaking about recent events. They looked pretty worked up and tired. They showed the video Tammy had recorded earlier that afternoon. When they spoke about a mysterious savior, Arjun, it brought a smile to his face. He hoped that the kids were wrapping up before leaving, but then they announced that they were going back to try to capture ghosts on camera. Tammy was speaking. Like that strange man Arjun told us, I have table salt, and Ash got an iron bar for our protection. If anything comes up, we can easily chase it away. We'll be right back at the cottage in a few minutes. Unfortunately, we don't have Wi-Fi there, so we won't be able to do this on live. But we will be back, I promise. Oh shit, Arjun barked. No, you kids. He ran back towards the cottage as fast as he could. Chapter 3. A Little Help. Arjun soon went out of the coverage area. He knew that he wouldn't receive any calls, but he decided to save the kids first. He will come back to get the necessary information, and then he will see what to do about that witch. He was running without even stopping to breathe. Running up the slope made it more difficult. He crossed the reception. Nobody was there, but he didn't stop to look. He kept running. He finally stopped. He was out of breath. He was sweating and gasping and kneeling with his hands on his knees. He barely had caught any breath when he heard a scream. It was probably Ash. He had heard him before. He dashed towards the voice. Ash! Tammy! He shouted. Help! We are here! Tammy is hurt! Arjun reached the cottage, and there they were, just outside the old wooden door with number 13 painted on it. Tammy was on the ground, and Ash was helping him. Arjun grabbed Tammy's hand, and Ash helped him get up. You idiots! Arjun cried. Why did you come back? Quick, get inside. What's happened to you? We were just coming back here recording the whole way when suddenly everything stopped working, and someone or something pushed us. We fell, and Tammy broke his ankle, I think. He stopped talking and looked over Arjun's shoulder with horror on his face. Arjun didn't need to look behind, but he did. A dark humanoid shadow stared back at them. What scared Ash and Tammy was the inhuman fashion in which this shadow was moving towards them. Arjun pushed the kids towards the cottage. Their safety was his only concern. They got inside the cottage and shut the door. Ash helped Tammy on a chair. It's dangerous out there. What were you thinking? Arjun scolded both of them. They didn't say anything back. Not because they were feeling guilty, but because they felt it. Someone or something that pushed Ash and Tammy was right outside the cottage. They could all feel it circling them. For some reason, it could not come inside, and then they saw why. Half a dozen gray, translucent figures appeared in the room. They were hovering in the air just like before. The temperature of the room fell. A tall figure joined the hovering ones. The ghost of V.S. Moria didn't stand in the middle of the room this time. He walked up to the door and pushed his hands onto it because whatever was on the other side of the door was eager to come in. It was beating the door viciously. All 3 occupants of the cottage could hear it growling as if it was hungry for blood. These spirits will protect us, but I don't for how long, Arjun said. What's out there? Is it another ghost? Is it a monster? Ash asked. It could be a witch. Tammy jumped from his chair. The witch? Arjun turned his head towards Tammy. You know about this? I've heard stories about a witch, and that there used to be a village here. Tammy was speaking while the struggle between the ghost of the archaeologist and the witch was growing violent. And about a witch trial. 200 years ago? Yes, 200 years ago. People of the village, they burned her alive. After that, the whole village was cursed, so they left it, migrated to other places. You think it's the ghost of the witch? There's a witch out there? Ash interjected. I don't understand how it could be a witch, said Arjun. A witch's spirit is very powerful. It knows dark magic. It can possess anything, any object, animals, even dead bodies. How these ghosts can hold it back, unless... Arjun looked up in the air at nothing, thinking and speaking very slowly and carefully. She wasn't a witch. What if she was just an innocent woman that the people of the village burned? It wouldn't have been the first time. Women had been burned alive in our country for centuries. She was just one of those innocent women, a victim. And now its angry spirit is seeking revenge. He was talking to himself. Ash and Tammy were looking at him without blinking. The skirmish at the door was raging now. But if she was burned, what is tethering her to this world? Then he looked at Tammy again. Tammy, could there be anything left that belonged to the woman? Anything at all? I don't know. She used to live outside the village. People dragged her out of her house into the village to burn her. And later they all left the village, so I guess they didn't do anything about her. Her house, Arjun completed his sentence. Where could it be? Where her house could be? Of course. He hung his head down. The cottage. What? What? This cottage used to be her home. I have got an idea. Ash, get ready. Help Tammy. I am going to open the door. Arjun reached into his pocket and took out another salt bomb. He signaled Ash and Tammy and threw it on the floor as hard as he could. It exploded, and the room filled with dust and smoke and warmth. Go! Ash and Tammy quickly got out of the room. The salt bomb seemed to have cleared the ghosts on both sides of the door. Arjun knew it wouldn't be too long before they would appear back, so he quickly grabbed a lantern off the wall and smashed it on the floor. He didn't stop just there. He took another one and ran out. Flames started rising inside the cottage. Arjun threw the second lantern on the number 13 painted on the door. Within minutes, the flames were reaching the sky. Then a woman screamed. She screamed as if she was being burned alive. Her blood-curdling screams echoed through the forest. When they stopped, something else chimed. Hey, our camera's working again, Ash said. He pointed his camera towards the burning cottage. Then he thought of introducing Arjun and turned his camera around. Hey, Arjun, why don't you Arjun was gone.